Hello everyone, thank you so much for being so patient for my pendulum tutorial that I've been promising for a few weeks now. I'm Sherry Lynn, Spiritualist Sherry Lynn, and I'm just doing a tutorial today on pendulums and pendulum use and just a couple tips to go through and keep in mind for when you're using pendulum. So let's start here. I just want to show you some of my pendulums first. My main pendulums I like to keep in this little crystal bowl. It's actually a quartz. It's a quartz bowl, so it kind of charges them up. And then inside the bowl itself, I have little Himalayan salt to help cleanse the pendulum. And I use the dice for divination as well. So these two here, smoky quartz and lapis lazuli. Those are my main ones that I like to use. And then I have Rebecca, my good friend Rebecca, she makes these little chakra chains for pendulums. And then this was just like a necklace pendulum. It's Angel Aura, so I just kind of hooked it on. And if you guys have a certain pendulum or necklace thing that you want to use, and you want to get some of these, let me know. I can get you some of those, no problem. Okay, so this one here, this little dish here has salt in it as well. And it's a sodalite moon, crescent moon. And I just keep a little pyrite skull on there to help charge as well. And like I said, the Himalayan salts are in there. And I do have copper pendulums. These ones here I use for space clearing when I'm doing energy work. Or when I'm charging water and food and things like that. So I'm just going to pop these out. So as you can see, it just has little Himalayan salts in there. You don't have to have a fancy little dish. Some people keep it in a little satchel, but I use mine every day. So this one here is copper, and this used to be my grandmother's actually, and it got handed down to me along with some jewelry and things when she had passed. So this is very sacred to me. It's heavy, but I use this for space clearing, and I just go in a counterclockwise motion. And then, so basically how you would do it is when you first start, you set your intention, and then you start the circle counterclockwise and see how much resistance you have. If you have lots of resistance, it means there's a lot of energy to clear, and the energy is quite heavy. And right now I don't have an intention, so it's really nice and light and smooth. And then you just continue to keep going for a couple minutes until you feel that it's easing off. When you tap in, you can feel the energies loosening up a bit. And then I usually just let it slow down on its own. And however it lands, it will tell me if the energy has been cleared or not. So it's going in a yes, which means it's been cleared. And the space clearing is the space in your environment around you physically. I also have this little copper pendulum as well. It's nice and light, but it does the trick beautifully for space clearing. But copper is fantastic because it is very very metaphysical, and the property itself, it responds well to spirit. And then I also have, this is the one that, excuse me, I'm trying to remember her name now. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Shoot. Anyways, I will think of it. So we have a Super 7 pendulum here, and this one here is amazing for moving energy and for protection. Super 7 is 7 different types of crystal in one. And this was handmade, excuse me, and it does have Herkimer diamonds. Excuse me, I'm just going to grab some water. So it has Herkimer diamonds. And these two charging rods, these are earth magnets, so it's self-charging and self-clearing, which is beautiful. It does have copper on it. And then it has some beautiful gemstone beads. I have a dragon pendant on the end there. So this one here in specific, I like to use it, excuse me, when I'm done my Reiki session or my energy healings and things. I will use this one here because this is a special one I only use for that in specific. I also have a pendulum mat. You don't need to have a pendulum mat, but it's nice. It's kind of handy. Mine has the yes, the no, rephrase, maybe. It has the days of the week. It has numbers for time frames. And it has the zodiac symbols around it. So you can get all kinds of different pendulum mats. But basically, you don't necessarily need to have a mat if, you know. So I just basically would hold it in my hand nice and still, and then go ahead and lift your hand down a bit and ask your question. We're going to go into some basics here now, and then I will show you my my Reiki pendulums. Excuse me. So a couple things. I'm just gonna go through my little journal here. I kind of wrote things down. I like to keep notes and kind of keep myself on track. But so I gave you the purpose for a tutorial is just to educate and to encourage and inspire, you know, and give you some different strategies and different ideas to try. So a clockwise motion is yes, and counterclockwise is no. For me, I don't do it like that. The way my pendulum works, the way that I communicate is vertical is yes, and horizontal is no. So if you think yes or no, right? That's how I do it. Everyone's is different, so it doesn't have to be in that order. So pendulums have been in use for thousands of years, invented on June 16th, 1657 by Christian Huygens. Okay, so you may want to get a notebook and paper, just press pause. You can take some notes if you'd like, because I hope I don't go through it too quick, but I might. So pendulums, they give you yes, no, maybe. They can give you time frame answers. They help locate lost objects, uncover health issues, select best homeopathic medicinal treatments. Okay, indicate whether food or water has spoiled. Get an answer to a pressing question, to make a decision, or you need guidance from spirit. Open and balance your chakras and move energy. Locate portals and close them. So yes, pendulums are extremely handy and useful, and you can make your own pendulums as simple from a necklace pendant. So super handy to have, just in case you need some guidance from your specific spirit team and you want to explore that. So pendulums are tools used to unearth information hidden deep within our subconscious minds in order to transmit it to conscious awareness. So the idea and understanding is that all the answers are within us already, okay? And so if we can't find the answers in our conscious mind, a pendulum will help you determine what is happening. Sorry, I'm just got a message here. Turn that off. Perfect. What is happening in your subconscious and pull it to the forefront. Also to help connect with your spirit guides and divination. All answers are already within us. Pendulums bring that wisdom to the light so that it may be used for our highest good. Okay, so only use pendulum and divination to seek for answers for your highest good. It allows you to connect to your higher self and your spirit guides. Get comfortable with your pendulum, okay, and the response from your subconscious, it creates an energy vortex around your your energy field, your etheric field. When you're asking a specific question, it automatically will connect to your higher self, which connects to your subconscious, which connects to your spirit guides and your angelic realm. And this is called the, I don't want to mispronounce it, but ideomotor. So IDEOMOTOR. Ideomotor response. So there's an actual term for it. And it amplifies energies from your subconscious. So that's generally how the pendulum works. You want to choose a pendulum that fits for you, one that you're called to, one that you feel is drawing you in. And it's always best to choose a pendulum in person rather than online. This way you can feel the energies from the pendulum itself, just to make sure that that pendulum resonates for you. There's many styles, sizes, shapes, material, okay, and you can even make your own. Like I showed you, this one here is actually a necklace pendant. It's Angel Aura. I'm trying to get it to show. This lighting isn't going to show it very well. But yeah, I just use this. It's nice and heavy, so you'd want to use, you can even just use your necklace if you don't have a pendulum, but a nice heavy pendant is good. So I recommend, so clear quartz pendulums are best, any type of quartz, because it amplifies the energies. You don't have to have clear quartz. Like when I do space clearing, I use my copper. When I'm doing divination, I use smoky quartz and lapis lazuli for the third eye. So it really just depends on which one's calling for you. My Reiki pendulums are all very different. I use the different crystals that coordinate with the chakras themselves. So the Reiki pendulum energy work with pendulums is a whole different video I'm gonna do. So always use your dominant hand, okay? Your basic pointers for you. So using your dominant hand, neutralize emotions. So it's important to make sure that emotionally you're grounded, you're clear, and you're not emotionally attached to any outcome. So that can make it a little difficult for us to do pendulum work for ourselves. Your grip should be relaxed. So you have to make sure that you're relaxed while you do it. And that you clear your mind, clear your energy field, make sure you feel grounded. You know, I usually sage, light a candle. I have a candle going here. And I burn some Palo Santo. I like to use some essential oils. This one here is the Sacred Higher Consciousness. And then I put it in my third eye, my ear chakras. Beautiful. So that helps as well to connect. So your grip should be loose and comfortable, relaxed. You're supposed to uncross your legs, have an open space. So I guess, you know, some believe that you shouldn't have your legs crossed or anything like that because it can affect the vortex energy around you. Cleanse the space with Palo Santo or sage if you have it, even if you light a candle or burn some incense. Make sure you're grounding yourself and clear the pendulum. So for me, whenever I get a new pendulum or if there's a specific, very important topic that I want to inquire about, I'll actually hold it to my heart center for about a minute. And I'll think, you know, what the issue is that I'm seeking an answer for. And it's like programming your pendulum to your heart center and to your energy field. So make sure that you're breathing and you're relaxed. Clear your mind, you know, holding your pendulum to your heart center to program it and clear it. Pendulums give answers on probabilities as of time used. So what this means is The future is not already predetermined. It's not set in stone. So when we use our pendulum, what's happening is we are actually looking for the most probability, like the probability. We're looking at probabilities as of the time that we're doing the reading. So do remember that anything in the future is not set in stone. Due to free will and different factors coming into play and people making different choices, it can really affect the outcome. So when you do pendulum work, do remember that the future is not set in stone and your reading is based on probability as of the time that you do the reading. Reading your pendulum swings. So clockwise is yes, counterclockwise is no. For me, I do the up down is yes, which is vertical. Side to side, horizontal is no. That's the way that I had programmed mine. I use the pendulum mats and boards. I'll show you my pendulum board in a moment. You know, and when you first get your pendulum, communicate with it, hold it to your center, make sure you always sage everything that you get for the first time to clear it. Hold it to your heart center and then ask it to show me a yes. Show me a no. Perfect. Thank you, Spirit. So yeah, and so that's how my pendulums work. But you can do this with yours if you're first connecting. The questions. So keep your questions light while you're first learning. Test the questions. So something you know the answer to. So for instance, you know, with my lapis lazuli, I could say, do I have 4 kids? So it's a strong yes. You know, and so you can test it that way with a few questions that you already know the answers to. Just to test it, to get used to it. We also have testing on objects, you know, so that's another way you can test. So for instance, if you were to take an object and hold it in your hand like so, I have a dice. Is this a dice? So that's a strong yes. So you can test objects. Ask detailed, close-ended questions. So you want to try and be as specific as possible when you're doing pendulum work. When you're asking your questions, try and be specific. And try and get a yes-no answer. Like ask a question that is close-ended with a yes-no, maybe, that kind of thing. Because you could, you know, you can't really get, if you ask an open-ended question, the answers from pendulum are typically yes-nos. So make sure you're narrowing down your question so that it makes sense. Like for me, for instance, when I'm trying to figure out a time frame or something, I'll say, will such and such happen within 3 months? You know, and then it'll give me a yes. Will such and such happen within a month? Oh, it says no. Okay, well, will it happen in a month and a half? Yes. So that's how I narrow it down. So another instance would be with people, for instance, like one of my kids took something of mine, you know, was it Tiana, was it Vanessa, was it Tristan, was it Caleb, you know, so you can narrow it down and use your imagination to to get creative that way. Yeah, the time frame and narrowing it down, so I covered that. And practice. So practice makes perfect. Practice every day with it, carrying it. You know, a lot of people carry it in a pouch in their purse or carry it on your person. This will help you develop a strong bond with your pendulum, and it becomes programmed to your energy field specifically. and you're more in tune with it. Spending time increases your bond and connection. And then we have, so the cleansing options and charging options. Okay, so for cleansing your pendulum, you can use sage, Palo Santo incense, candle flame, salt, like how I do it. You can place it out in the sun for a little while. Full moon energy, it charges them up beautifully. You can also, if your pendulum's not working and it's giving you the wrong answers and you need to reprogram it, a good way to reset your pendulum is to just dig a little hole in your backyard in the dirt, place the pendulum in, cover it up, leave it there for like a couple weeks to a month. I like to say 1 full moon cycle. And then I bring it out, clean it off, wash it off, reprogram it, and then it's usually good. Okay. And I usually do that if I get a secondhand pendulum and stuff as well. Okay. Selenite is amazing for cleansing and charging, actually, both of them. Moon water, Florida water, you know, you can even cleanse it just by holding it to your heart center and asking for it to be cleared and cleansed and recharged. We'll talk a little bit about, where am I at? 21 minutes. Okay. So I'll try and get this all in. I don't want to take too long, but your headspace. Let's talk about the headspace when you're doing pendulum work. With pendulums, they are affected by thoughts, okay? So it is imperative to be in a clear space. So you need to make sure that you're clear-minded, you clear your mind, you're not stressed out, you're not emotional, because your energy field will be affecting the outcome of the answer that you're getting from your pendulum. So make sure that you're calm, you're clear, you're grounded, and you're relaxed. Let go of emotions, thoughts, or attachments to the issue in order to rely on the tool's unbiased response. So if you're asking questions that you're hoping for a certain response, it could very well, you might get that response, but that's not indeed accurate. It's because your mind is kind of pushing that energy out. So make sure that when you're doing it, you keep very, very clear focused and don't even focus on the answer. That's important, and that way you know that you're getting something accurate. The pendulum is an extension of us. So it really is an extension of your subconscious mind and your spirit team and spirit guides. A way to communicate. I don't rely on the pendulum alone. I like to use different tools of divination interchangeably. So what that means is when I'm doing a reading for someone, I will give them what my intuition is telling me first. Then I'll check with my pendulums, okay? If it's a really pressing question or issue, I'll check with 10 pendulums. I'll check with 3 different types of pendulums to make sure I'm getting the same answers. So that's another thing you can consider as well. Wishful thinking or preconceived outcome, however slight, will affect the response to be ineffective. Okay, trust yourself. So trust yourself, trust your pendulum, trust your higher self, trust your spirit guides, and have faith. Make sure you're calm, grounded, and your energy field is clear, and stay neutral. That's the most important thing. And don't rely only on the pendulum. Tap in with your intuition first. Pull some tarot cards. You know, I like to use the dice. I have different tools of divination that I like to use. So I've shown you my different pendulums. Now this here is, I have the stones on there, so I'm just going to actually take the crystals off. This is what I use for my Reiki and the energy healing. So balanced is about 50 to 55%. This would be underactive, and this would be overactive, and then straight across is blocked. So, and then I have the different crystals, like this one here's the root chakra. So when I have it sitting, I have the crystals down, and when I'm testing it, I tap into the person's picture or their energy body. I do my symbols, and then I'm connected. And then I go ahead and I place the the crystal in the middle there, and I hold the pendulum, and I allow it to tell me how the root center is doing. And but again, that is to be used interchangeably. Now I do have a charging plate for my my Reiki pendulums, and I just have like the little charging pyramids. They're all Reiki ones, so I usually have, I'm just going to show you one set here. I'll show you the amethyst. So I usually set it up like so for each one, like so. That's how I usually keep it. And then when I'm testing or when I'm inquiring, so these pendulums here, I have a whole set for the different chakras. Okay, so I test each chakra with the coordinating pendulum. Now for amethyst, this is your crown chakra, so I hold an amethyst cube in my hand once I've connected to the person's energy, and this is in reference to distance healing. So once I connect to the person's energy, I hold the amethyst and I ask about the crown chakra, and it's nice and open and very strong. Beautiful. So that's how I do those. I'm going to do a separate tutorial on, I'll try and do a little more specifically in regards to the actual energy pendulum work. I wanted to show you the dowsing rods. So my dowsing rods came. I'm still learning how to work with dowsing rods. You know, typically what they say is you hold it at your waist level, and you ask, one sec, you want to hold it at your waist level. I'm on video right now, so I'll have to do another video, but you ask, show me a yes. See, and it opens up. Show me a no. And then it closes. So that's kind of dowsing rods there. See, now it's gone back to center. So these are great for when you're checking out energies in homes and you're looking for spirit energy. I just know spirit energy is there, but lots of people use dowsing rods. So dowsing rods are a great tool as well. And I know that I'm probably forgetting something, but before we go, I just want to do a little singing bowl. And I hope everyone enjoyed this tutorial. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any more questions, and let me know how your experience is with the pendulum usage. If this video helps and you're watching it from YouTube, please do like. I do have energy courses that I run and I teach. I'm a Reiki master, so if you're interested in booking a private reading or session, or you're interested in taking some courses, please reach out. And my heart singing bowl, heart chakra. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. So thank you so much for joining, and I appreciate that you guys have been so patient on waiting for this tutorial in specific. Beautiful. Thank you again. Please let me know how you like this tutorial, and I'm sending all my love and light and well wishes.